Hey, how you doing? This 26 string corner. Today we're going to do Something for Nothing by Rush. Great song off the 2112 album. You get the tabs of this song in the 6 string corner tab library. It's in the link down below in the description, all right? So let's get on with how to play this song. The opening chords of this song, you're going to start with an A minor, G major, play it this way, with the two fingers here, and a D, regular D major chord. And then you got an E major, back to the G major, and then you're going to have the A minor again. So the first two times, we're just picking up and down on the strings in the chord, always starting with the root note. So like for example, on the A minor, I'm going to go 5, 4, 3 on the string numbers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm up picking my way back, and then we go to the G, and then you're going to pick 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the D major. All right, so that goes. Then we'll do something very simpler on the E major, right? 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the G. Same thing there we did earlier. And then on the A minor, we're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4. You do that twice. The second time is exactly like the first. After the two times, now we're going to change it up. This is still in the intro, but it will also be in the opening verse. You start it the same way, but you're only going to go 1, 2, let that ring out just a tiny bit, which is good because you got to bring your hand all the way up here. This is a part of a G major chord, 10, and these two are on the 12th fret. It's B and G string, and then a high D. This is basically that D major shape, but I'm way up here on the 14th and 15th fret. Just a tip on how to get here quick, because it's kind of like you're here and you're way out here. What you can do, you play the A minor, use your ring finger to slide up the G string. Now you don't want to press down on the G string. Slide it all the way up here to the 12th fret. This will kind of keep you sort of grounded here in a way, and then drop these two and play that G. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there's an open D here on that part. Now I play the D here. You don't have to. I just do that because my fingers are already right here. I like sliding my little finger up, forming that D chord here. You can still do it this way and this way, whatever works for you. And then you go to the E major. Same thing, a 6, 5, 4, 1, 2. Let that ring a tiny bit, and you're going to play this G right here. That's a D shape, but we're actually up here on the 7th fret and 8th fret here. That's a G chord, technically a G over D. And then back to the A minor. And so that's going to go on the rest of the intro and into the verse. Towards the end of that verse, you're going to come back down to the E major. The E major will still be 6, 5, 4, 1, 2. But after you do 2, you got to go open E, 2, 3. It's an open E, F sharp, G. And do it with your, I would suggest doing your middle finger, because then you can set up for the G here. And you're going to again go strings 1, 2, 3 on the G. And then from there, you're going to get into the dirty sound where we're going to have a little more gain. That's just A minor to D major. And don't forget, you got some stops here, so just drop your hand in here and just stop that sound. Go back to the beginning and play that E major part again. And then you're going to go back and play the exact same thing on the A minor D. Then we go into, I guess it'd be another verse. It's played a little bit different, obviously. It's going to be... So I think it starts with an A minor. I used to think it was just a regular A, but I'm pretty sure that C's in here. So you play the A minor, C power chord, to a D power chord, and then an E power chord. Right? Now this power chord here, since it's an E, you can leave the open E, the open B here, and also the open B on the lower end. Something like that. Bum, bum, bum. And then comes this part. So, kind of like a galloping sound. That's how it goes. So you do that 2 times, and then you're going to go to this E major G, but we're not going to pick it like we did earlier with the clean sound, is it? Just like that. Low strings, high strings, and then the G. It's also going to be low strings, high. And you're also going to put that note in here too. And then we go back to that staccato part. And then you're going to repeat it. And then we come into the chorus. Here's that little galloping sound. D to C, back to D. And then you got some single notes that are actually going to match the vocals. Open A, back to the B note here, 2nd fret, A string, and then you're going to hit the G, which is the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then an A power chord. Then you're going to repeat it, but you're going to finish that a little bit different. All right, 2nd time, it's just on the open A, it's 0, 1, 2, back to 2 on the A string, back to 3 on the E string, and back to the A power chord. You repeat it, but at the very end, right there at that D, you're going to sort of stop. Not a hard stop, but you're going to stop briefly. And then you're going to go play this. A minor to a G. Now I think this is a C sus here. And then a G over B, keeping those fingers down here. And then back to the A minor, and that gets us into the solo. And it's also going to come back later. So for the solo, let me cover the rhythm guitar for the solo. I'm going to cover the solo at the end of this video. Okay, how's that? What you're going to do is you're just going to play that verse again. Then you go back into the chorus. At the end of that chorus, you're still going to do the after the end of that chorus, do a little scrape sound here on the wound strings, and all you're going to play now is A minor, G major, to D major, back to E major, to G major, to A minor. Okay, repeat it. Now here on the E, there's kind of like a double hit, and then the G, you're going to follow the band. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to the A minor. Now, for the solo, the beginning, what I think he's doing here, because I don't think he had a whammy bar just yet, we're doing a trill right here, which is on the B string, 5 and 8. I think what he's doing really is he's doing this. What you do is you just come back here behind the pointer finger and just sort of pull up that as you're doing. All right, now you can cheat your way through it. You can use, if your whammy bar, if you got one, you can do it. You can do it with the whammy bar too, where you just would do the trill. All right, and then you got an open A, and then you're going to bend on the 8th fret on the B string, and then we're going to play this part. Now remember, sitting here in that A minor scale. So it goes something like that, where we're on the B, on the 10, on the high E, we're going 7, 8. There's a little trill, mini trill in there, and then back to 10, and then on the 8th fret on the B, you're going to do a bend. Probably have to do that with the pointer finger, so if you're not used to it, you might want to get used to it, because you're going to need to put it there. And then you're going to jump way up here. This is on 14 and on the G, and then we're on 13, 15 on the B. And then you're eventually going to do a little flurry of a note, and you're going to come up here to the 17th fret on the high. Bend it up, and then come down. There's just a quick trill right here, 15, 17. And then you're going to bend here the C note, which is that, what is that, 17th fret on the G. Right, and you're going to bend that one up. And then, so kind of something like that. And then you're just really going down that A minor scale on the G string. Just like that, and then you're going to end up on that note. Now we're going to do a bend. We're going to kind of slow it a little bit. So you're going to bend on that 7th fret on the G. 5. We're going to resolve there on the 4 on the G. Then we're going to play this. So this is where you're going to bend on the 7th fret on the G, but we're going to play that matched bent note with the pointer finger on the 5th fret on the B. And then jump up here, do the exact same thing, 12 and 10. Then there's some crazy little bend. I think he's doing that on the 13th fret. I think he's bending up to the G. And then we play this. It kind of gets a little faster. The very first time it's very deliberate. So I'm playing it here on 10, 13 on the B, 10, 12 on the high E. And I think you do it like 4 times. This first time it's a little bit slower. And then he speeds it up. And then one more time. You're going back to that bend on the 13th. And then I think what he's doing is he's bending this. It's a weird bend, but he's on the 10th fret on the B string. He's bending to that B, but he's not resolving there. Because right as we're coming back into the song, he drops to an A note. And then that ends the solo.